Hello, everybody. Thank you for coming to this event. Thank you for those who are here live in this space and who are online. My name is Lefty, and this is a showcase of my work entitled Sama Sama, a multicultural art journey. And in conjunction with the showcase, we are having this Facebook Live panel discussion. Joining me is Li Feng. Li Feng is a scholar in the field of culture and heritage. She is my curator and also helping me with the preparation and before I start doing the drawing.
Hello everyone, my name is Li Feng. Thank you, Lefty, for inviting me. Also, congratulations for the opening of the exhibition. I have been working with Julian Lefty for, I think, how many years?
About 10 years now. 2012, I think.
Yes.
The first project.
Actually, I was a cultural worker, and then I did research, and then I need people to draw out the content.
Yeah, she is the textbook. I'm the comic guy.
So at that time, our common friend recommended this guy. So I checked out Facebook, and at first I thought you were someone else, right? but then we met, and then we started to collaborate for a decade. So this is his brainchild, because for years we have been talking, besides serving clients, project briefs, the dream is to really produce something of our interest. And his long-time interest is really to draw something about Penang. So this chance finally came last year, and so Lefty got this grant, and then he said, okay, finally a small platform to start the journey. So where shall we start? So at that time, I was doing my PhD study, and my side of study is Georgetown, and I study multicultural and actually investigate what do people mean by multicultural. In the past, we talk about multicultural as in Malay is like that, Chinese is like that, and Indian is like that. But actually, contemporary discourse is that we don't look at differences, but we look at the connectedness. So when we brainstorm, and then our directions quite similar, and then he was also very interested in how people connect to each other. So then he came up with the name Sama Sama.
So now you can see the difference of how we explain things. I'll stumbling through, and she is very properly explaining it.
So yeah, this is how we started. Our intention is to. He grew up in Penang. He's Penangite. I'm from Kedah, but I was born in Penang. My
officially, you're
officially,
Penangite.
Yeah. But you know, that time, Kedah people they want branded stuff. They want imported stuff. So my parents purposely come to Penang, to the private hospital.
IC must have Penang IC.
Yes, my IC must have 07 Penang IC. So I was born in Penang, but I have been staying here for about very long lah. So this project, come back to this project, because for me, it's my personal research interest. I'm always interested to know about multicultural and how people connect to each other. But for you, perhaps you can elaborate more.
Yeah, I always wanted to explore Georgetown. That's my thought initially, and then before I talked to you, and I was like, what should I do about this? And then as we discuss further, we come up with this subject of observing the multicultural coexistence or community of a place, and being Penangite, and also being locked down in Penang, where we are not going anywhere for the past 1 year. So at that time, I thought, okay, maybe it's time for me to look at Georgetown, and as to start my project of Sama Sama, because Sama Sama it can eventually go many places, observing the multicultural community in many places. But Georgetown is the pilot place to start, and we discuss of which are the hotspots to go to, and because once we pinpoint it down about multicultural, and actually it's quite easy, because in Georgetown we are so excited to say, oh, Chaurasta Market is a must, and there are Little India and the Street of Harmony. There's so many areas that you can go and observe and discover about multicultural society. And my area of work, even though being an artist, my area of work is in comics first. I've been doing comics for a long time, and about a few years back, I discovered a method of drawing comics is called the documentary comics, which is to go and observe with the subject, to observe of what you want to do, and you collect data, you do research, and with the facts, and you create stories to bring out the message you want to bring out. So documentary comics is actually quite popular and big, especially overseas. I have the fortune to work with a Taiwanese company where we had exhibition in Taiwan it's called on the series of work called in the anthology called Monsoon, and by this slow work publication, where we also document a lot of various lifestyle in Southeast Asia, for instance in Vietnam, in Hong Kong, in Taiwan, in Japan, and we use story to make the whole documentation interesting. So that's what I'm doing here with this series now.
Do you want to explain about your approach? Because when we started, we talk about how we talk about multicultural and how do we go to investigate multiculturalism in Georgetown. So I share with him the method that I use in my research called sensory ethnography. So I encourage that maybe you go out and explore open your senses and explore Georgetown through senses.
Yeah, that's quite important. Actually, that part came from Li Feng, because she with that suggestion, it opens up my senses instead of just go there and just look at, observe, look. And I also use my hearing, my sense of taste, and many layers of observation comes into the picture when I doing research. And actually I have that's why I have a lot of ideas that come out during this time, and it all builds into the drawings, especially as you can see, like this is one of the pieces, and this one I for this type of drawing, it is I include a simple storyline instead of just a piece of drawing. If you're talking about an art show, normally is a piece of drawing, but being a graphic novelist or comic book artist, I thought it would be much easier for me to express or to tell a story with what we call here is a sequential art. So we are combining just art to sequential art to document what I saw during my journey.
So can you briefly bring us through the themes?
Okay.
There are several themes that you explored. So
actually I have over here during this show I have picked three themes. The first one is fairy, is the memory of fairy rites, and the second one is a nice little seaside coffee stall Actually, it's in Green Hall, Penang. It's so cozy and comfortable, and it's uniquely Penang because right beside the coffee stall, it's the seaside and people are fishing there. And the third one is during my stay in the heart of Georgetown, I stayed near the Armenian street there, and I noticed the first thing I noticed was the trishaw. You have multiracial trishaw uncles. They all live together and chat together. And from there, I keep observing because Georgetown, in the heart of Georgetown, the streets are all quite small, and I noticed that tricycles are so useful in this environment. And from there, I saw the bread man, the roti man that came, and then the roti man or the street vendors, they seem to be the center of a lot of things. People would come to them. So and then I also see the recycle uncle that go around collecting cardboards and papers and whatnot. So these are the three themes now that I decided to put up for this batch of drawing, because I will still have a couple of subject to draw about Georgetown. I'm not done yet, but at this point of time, these are the few drawings that I come up with.
Among all these three themes, which one is your favorite?
Actually, it's a strange thing to me is when I do the research. It's actually I do all sort of research, and I have so many themes and ideas. Fairy was actually one of them, but fairy strangely didn't start with fairy. Maybe I was always thinking about saving the best for last, but then when I show Li Feng about my planning of what I'm going to draw, and then she said, "Wait, well, what about fairy?" Because recently there is an incident about fairy. End of last year, where fairy there's a change of format. It's a drastic change where fairy no longer will be bringing cars and people. Ferry is only restricted to motorcycles and bicycles. So it's sort of like an end of an era for many of us where we have memory of ferries. So even though the whole I love all the themes here, but when it comes to drawing, fairy is the one that means a lot to me. And amazingly, when I draw the fairy drawing, it came out quite naturally, mainly because I think I have a lot of memory about it. For instance, for this piece, documentary comics that I include here is, even though this boy is not me and this guy is not my dad, but the action, the storyline that is involved here, some part of it is actually me, and along with many people, I'm quite sure, because whenever we are on the ferry, whether you drove there or you're on top of the deck, every time when the ferry start, we would go to the front deck and we would look at the front and we enjoy the sea breeze. That's why I have. And when you're on a ferry, there is no distance between people, regardless of races or status. No, we all go to the deck and we all enjoy the sea breeze. We all enjoy the peace and quiet, and sometimes we talk to each other. From my experience, and even the last time I was fortunate to did the research before the closing of the ferry, so I spoke to some people when I was there. Most of them are workers. I spoke to one who is who is on the way from Butterworth here and going to GH, a General Hospital, to work. So, and everybody is, when you are relaxed, when you are, it's sort of like we are all on the same boat, right? So everyone is very friendly to each other. So it's that has always been my good memory about ferry.
So would you like to share also about the coffee store?
Coffee store is, it wasn't in one of the hotspot we discussed, but the thing about research and going on field is you would discover more things while we are there. And the coffee store, I was walking around and I accidentally saw the place, and I because Penang is not a big place. I've been there before. I was during my school times also. Sometimes we would hang out there because there are people fishing there, and I go back there and I see, hey, this is coffee store is so cozy. One of the special service of the coffee store is that those who go there to fish, they would order like a teh tarik or anything, and then he would come with a what do you call it, the pail, the kole, the pail, and they put and then you pack their drinks in a plastic bag and then put on that pail, and then you bring to them and then put there. So those people who fish there, they would get drink, and then later on he will come and collect back the pail. Or sometimes the people would, when they go back, they'll just bring it back because they would have to pass by the coffee stall anyway. So he would bring it back to them. So these are all very unique, and the warmness in the environment of Penang, I think, and this comes from a multicultural, multiracial community. The owner of the coffee store is an Indian. I'm not sure Indian Muslim or not, but he's an Indian. And the worker, the uncle that helps out around there is a Chinese guy. So it suits the theme lah. And
Okay. Anything else you want to talk about? The content of the... what about the Man on Wheels?
Man on Wheels
series?
Yeah, Man on Wheels series is... initially, I'm very ambitious about that because I thought, okay, I want to have tricycles as the theme. So initially, my idea was have three elements that combine the message of harmony. But when I present the sketches and idea to Li Feng told me that actually the center of this is actually the bread man, the roti man, because the roti man is the one that brings them together. Everybody, when the roti man came, with hitting the bell, tung 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 tung, and then people will start coming to buy roti. Kids will come, the adults will come. Everyone would go there to buy roti, so bread. So this is so it ended up the theme would be the bread vendor as the center of the theme. So but it is fine. It is still linked back to our harmony of coexistence in the city.
You want to share about your childhood memory about
Roti Man? Yeah, the roti. To me, I also have a childhood memory of this theme is because any of you here experienced buying bread from a Roti Man before, right? Yeah, like ting 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 ting, and then throughout the nation, not only in Penang, right, way down to Yongping, Johor also. So everyone would have some experience. For me, is on a part of bread. Bread is something that I have to buy back to the house. Mother would say, "Oh, go and buy bread." So will give me some money, and then when I buy the bread with the balance of the money, sometimes I'll get something for myself, which is the thing about Roti Man, and they'll have some tidbits for you. So when I was very small, I always think that the Roti Man, on top of the cart is like a black rubber wrap things on top of the roti stall, and he always put his hand into it and then take out something. So to me, when I was young, I always imagined what is inside this black, cover. There must be a lot of treasure inside there, because he keep on anything he would just take out from there. So to me, it's quite amazing that part of the memory. So it's a lot of nostalgic in the series, because I thought sometimes we need to capture all this down. Who knows how long it will last, right?
Okay, thanks for sharing the content. As a series, the significance to me is that Lefty, through his sensory exploration, so he's everywhere, so his thoughts is everywhere, then he draw this is his discovery. So from academic point of view, this is very significant, as in Lefty has managed to capture, the taste, like the roti, the seaside. It's because these are the tastes that binds people together. When we talk about the roti, it's like this Indian man cutting the roti, and everyone has this collective memory of waiting for the kaya. It's everyone enjoys. So these are the shared tastes, and that he managed to capture. But although he was like initially very interested in the roda lah, so but he captured
tricycle,
the shared taste. And then at the coffee store, he captured. Actually, this is for Kedah people. We cannot associate this seaside, lepak at the seaside. You all have this luxury in life that, in town you just sit by the seaside and fishing. We cannot imagine that. But he captured the sense of place of Georgetown, where and this is not the exclusive tourist beach where you are like you cannot go, but this is so equal. Everyone, all races can go. So he captured that sense of place, that unique sense of place of the Penang Island. And for ferry, of course, is the really iconic experience of like we are on the same boat. Yeah. And it's also again from non-Penangite point of view, because Penang is something, it's the city for us. So especially from the ride from Penang to from Butterworth to Penang, is like we are going to the city. So this is the sense of place that Penang is it's that. So whenever you on the ferry, you talk to people and you ask about whereabout in Penang, and really Penang people will be very proud to share. You want to eat char kway teow here. You want to go shopping here. So the landscape itself already really binds you. So all this Julian has captured, really all these shared sentiments, shared icons, shared feelings of being a Penangites, and of course like being a Georgetown person. So I really like the series a lot. So next will be the part that really he can talk for days is let's talk about your way of drawing, because just now you talk about graphic documentary. So can you share with us what is you also talk about the sequential art. But first of all, can you tell us why you choose in black and white lines and only patches of yellow? Why this style?
Because there are some projects that we did is in full color, but a lot of time full color. If we are doing a project for a commission project, most of the time people would prefer things in full color. But for myself, I always like things in black and white, and my style is more on line drawings, and the most is I would have add another additional color to it to highlight certain things the certain part of the drawing or the subject of the drawing. So this time around, my second color apart from black and white, the secondary color or the highlight color is yellow ochre. Yellow ochre is more like a gold rustic color, and with the drawing, and also something that I discovered when doing on canvas is you can achieve a certain coarseness in it. The rustic feeling is there, and even though it is rustic, it is not like old or dying, but because of the warmness and the richness of the gold color in it, it brings out the warmness. And like you told me before, it's very culturally it's a auspicious, and who doesn't like gold color, right? But I don't want it to be too rich. So the rusticness of it helps a lot. I don't want it to be like totally gold color. It would ruin my drawing. But the rustic feeling of it helps a lot. Yeah.
So why you talk about nostalgia. So why do you choose the nostalgic element? Because a lot of your works play on nostalgic.
Like what we did before, for instance, the LL series that we did for GTWHIO. I like to capture the olden days or elements that is disappeared or soon disappearing. And because I noticed that Penang or Malaysia, we during the earlier days, we didn't do quite well in the archiving of the things or lifestyle, maybe 50 years ago or 100 years ago. So when we are doing research, I noticed that it is so difficult. We can't find a lot of photo. Whenever I do research, I always ended up in Singapore. Singapore Library is the best. And sometimes even the local scene, I have to search in the Singapore Library. So I noticed that, hey, if we don't keep capturing whatever we have now, it will still be the same, 50 years down the road. And some of the things that we can no longer capture with photograph before, I would try. That is why drawing comes in handy, because I would, through our interviews, especially with some elderly people, we have some projects that we interview elderly people about, for instance, the Perak Road where they make the beancurd, how the traditional way of doing it during that time, and they have wells inside the house where the water are still clean enough to have bean sprouts and grow there, and to have to make beancurd there. And the elderly folks would explain to us how they did it during that time. And I would go back and then I would start drawing it, and then I bring it to show them, is this correct or not? Is this place high enough? Is this how you put your pail here? Is it? So through interviewing and confirming with them, I would try to capture down all the missing link through drawing. And I believe that black and white drawing like this, or line drawings, not to say black and white drawings, line drawings is always easier as a diagram to let people understand the what we are trying to explain.
Okay. 40 minutes already.
Okay. Good time. You have anything to
wrap? Just to wrap up, originally what we want to do is to explore and to make sense of how people could connect to each other about harmony in society. And we, of course, hope that the series can be of educational purpose. Of course, like promote, because in this society we need a lot of goodwill and love, and not a lot of biasness and all that. We cannot change the system. We cannot change maybe the big picture, but individually we can spread whatever we can do. So this is a small attempt to really highlight what we still have. Because when we talk to old people, they will say, a long time ago, we are so good that time. But we still have something today. It's just that maybe it is hidden, or it is just covered by too many things. So what Lefty has done today is to uncover some gems, some really treasures that we still have today, and to really tell the world this is what we have and please cherish. So this is a small attempt, and I believe that this will be the beginning of a journey.
Especially nowadays, there are a lot of uncertainty in our life, and also a lot of, we always see a lot of bad news out there. And what I'm trying to do here, what we are trying to do is, I want to capture something real. I'm not elaborating. I'm just I live in this city for almost 2 months. To observe the realness, the beauty in it that is real, and to capture it on the drawing.
Yeah.
To highlight, instead of highlighting all the bad things, like most of the time we can see in the news, we want to highlight the good things in life too, which sometimes we would neglect, because like being a Penang guy, a lot of times I would pass by certain things and maybe I would like, hey, this is quite interesting, but I passed by already and I do not know about it. But through this project, it gives me a chance to stop and observe and look deeper into it, and with a theme. So when you look at a subject, you look at it with an objective mind. So it's clearer and to analyze what we want to tell the people. And I think I would like to thank Chundana for helping me sponsor. Yeah, without Chundana helping me to run it, to do this project, without the funding that came from Chundana, it would be very difficult for me to, or even to decide to do this. And and then of course with the Oasis here, that is really a perfect space to display the drawing. Even from the place itself is already so suitable for the color tone, and everything is so suitable for this exhibition. Yeah, I think we can open up for we can open up for some Q&A if you guys have any questions. Yes. Yes, that's a good question, because we definitely will explore other areas. In fact, during the time of my research, I observed the animal aspect of the city. The birds, the cats, the stray dogs, the rats, and the monitor lizards in the big longkang. So I wanted to do a series on that too. Yeah, I plan to do a series on that. And also actually another one would be food. Food is something that is really interesting, and the ingredients. Initially, when we're talking about this idea of sama-sama, because there are other senses like taste, and especially taste, and I keep thinking about the food and the ingredients of it, where there are ingredients that we co-share. Chinese, Malay, or everyone would use. Like for instance, coconut, pandan leaves, or even banana leaves. These are all ingredients that we all would use throughout different dishes. So those are the things that we would explore. There's so many topics we could explore now. Yes.
Are your art pieces for sale?
Yes. Yeah, we can talk about that later. Yes.
For me, as a Penangite, a millennial born and raised in Penang, these are the things that I can closely relate to. And I think I take pride in even wherever I go. My question will be a bit cheeky, but it's for Lee Feng. So how do you find the experience of working with Lefty so far, or throughout these decades?
Okay. How is it working with Lefty? Challenging. Challenging as in he's very ambitious and he's very genuine and he really loves Penang. And the challenges is that, hey, you only have so little money, you only have so little time. You cannot do all this. His dream is to have a really thick comic book, but you only have budget to do 6 drawings.
Yeah.
So that's the difficulty of really frame him down, and because everything he loves so much, everything he wants to. So
I want to do a 5,000 pages comic about
yes.
Penang.
So to nail down to really you cannot anymore nail down. So that is the challenges. But of course that is you can't really find such a really genuine person anymore. So actually the brief, I always tell him, you don't need to do until this level, the brief is you do sketches only. But he really, I think so, he delivered more than what he was expected. These are all his initiation. Really he did more. So this is something really applaudable. Very, very, very rare quality.
Thank you. Because like I said earlier, I would go all over the place and Li-Feng would be the one that would bring me back to reality. Because when I told her that I'm going to do this canvas big drawing, she said, "What? You have this small budget and you want to do this?" It's so unrealistic. I said, "Never mind, I'll just do it on my own first and see how it goes." But it is very important to come back to reality and to touch base and to do it in a more focused way instead of shooting all over the place. Any more questions? If not, yes.
I got the text, so I asked on behalf of Euro Strong.
Okay.
How much you earn from this series? She was asking.
Oh, this person must be very business minded. I haven't earned anything from it yet. I'm glad that I can live a day-to-day life while working on it. So haven't done anything. We'll see if any of these drawings are sold.
So continue because she is on live. So and if the answer is little or even no, why he will wants to do it? What drives you to do it?
Wow. Well, that's why I ended up being an artist because I'm always the unrealistic person. But
from working with Lefty for so many years, I find the unique is the childlike quality. He still remains that naive and he just do it lah. I like it. I do it. It's very rare. That's why I say it's so rare.
So if there's any more questions, we need to wrap it up by. Oh yes.
First of all, congratulations to Lefty for this exhibition.
Thank you.
And I must say that now I know why he has to spend about 1-2 months living in the core of Georgetown to come up with this work.
Yes.
So my question is, while you were staying at the core of Georgetown for 1-2 months, what are the hidden gems that you discovered?
Oh.
Number one. Number two is since you're spend your childhood here in Penang, what experiences that you experienced during that time but you cannot find it now after so many years? So first, you recommended some of the hidden gems.
I I found offhand the one that I think of is this coffee stall in Little India, which is very unique because it is the only stall in the Indian community, but it's a Chinese coffee stall that it sells halal food, of course. So they are multiracial would go to the stall, and the stall is in the back lane behind Standard Chartered Bank. When I walk past there, because right beside the store is a mama coffee store, so they are right with each other, and the lady, the elderly is run by this elderly brother and sister, because I had some interview with them, and they still use charcoal to do the toast bread, and it's very traditional, and they said they have been there for so long. I wanted to it's on my list to draw that place, but because I already have the seaside coffee stall, so I have to keep that for my next project. And what was the next question already? I may be very childish, but I'm quite old already. What was it again? Oh yeah, the experience from before that's no longer here. For instance, the trishaw. Trishaw used to be like Grab now, and no, it's not just for tourists, because nowadays trishaw is like, come, 1 hour, I bring you to like 15 places to take photo. Trishaw used to be if for elderly people or whoever you want to travel from one spot to another. For instance, I want to go to Komta bus station, 2 ringgit or whatever, 1 ringgit, they'll just bring you there. So that is something that is unique then. And the other thing is the book rental service in Chaurasta Market. Nowadays, of course, they're still selling the second-hand books. Like a gem is so expensive. But it used to be a book rental where you go there and rent comic books. You go there and rent any books. You pay. You give 30 cents when you come back and return to it. Return you like 20 cents or something like that. So that is also a place. At that time, my time, it wasn't at Chaurasta just yet. It was here actually in McAllister Road, and that is where I discovered comics. The American comics, because we have a lot of expats or Royal Australian Air Force people here. When they move back, they will just sell their books there. So this is how we discover a lot of foreign books in Penang. So these are all the things that has gone by. So if without any okay, one more, okay. Oh,
so
yes.
I got like 2 questions. And the first question is it this theme that, like, by seeing this all these artworks that I saw, is like, is it your main theme is like the nostalgic transportation mode of transportation, as you can see, it's like ferry, tricycle, trishaw, this kind of thing, like in Penang is becoming like a nostalgic thing. It's not like people like who think that as a mode of transportation, as our roads are now full of cars and motorcycles. So is it this kind of theme, nostalgic theme for you? And the second question is just now, the other person that said that, what's your next coming project? Because I can see that actually through this artwork, I can see it's like a lot talking about food. And actually, like, food in Penang is the most important thing, as actually it unites us all, the 3 races together. Because like in Mamak, you can see like no matter who you are, you just go there, Mamak, and chit-chat all the way. So that's my 2 questions for you. So what's your next project, and is it about food or other else? And is this theme that make the theme of your artwork is like nostalgic transportation that is missing now?
Nostalgic is thanks for the questions. Nostalgic is always part of my creative direction. Like I said, I want to capture as much as possible of what we used to have, or observing things that might be disappearing. Nostalgic is the key element, and another thing is I will have a more feel good element in the series, in my drawings. And there are two more. I have three subjects here in this series. I'm going to have two more that I'm working on, and my next project is actually Sama Sama will be featured in Georgetown Festival. During that time, I would have more drawings to show. So that is one. And then hopefully we also have another project called I Am Home, that hopefully we would have some physical exhibition in the future, or a book. Okay. Publication is a tough thing to do, especially nowadays, but it is still my hope and dream to publish some of the works into book format, so that it can, of course, original drawings is good, but with books and artworks that can print it, then will be distributed. The key motive is to reach out to as many people as possible. All this artwork will be featured online. I have a website that I have put everything and all the information on it for everyone to have a look. Okay, I think we should. Okay, but thanks again to Oasis for this wonderful organizing this for me.
Thank you.
And thanks to Li Feng for coming here. And happy birthday to Li Feng. Today is a birthday actually.